So what all you did before you actually got to the tax industry? What type of jobs and stuff you did before that?
Believe it or not, I was a truck driver. I drove either trucks or buses. So I drove buses for like 11 years before I finally...
Like school buses?
Yeah, school buses, really? City buses.
How did you get in the tax industry?
I got in the tax industry back in 2005. I filed with some janky promoters. Okay, this janky tax service. Yep. By the end of that season, the feds had kicked in that office and shut it down.
Wow.
So the next year, the friends that introduced me to those people, they were like, "Well, we back in the game and da da da." So we'll file your taxes. So when I went to file my taxes. In 2006, they had already used my kids' socials. Dang. Both of them.
Oh, they had stolen.
Yeah, they had used my kids' socials on other people's tax returns. So, back then I was doing bad. I was still in school. I was still figuring out life. And then when that happened, it was like a slap in the face. I had to go through, they didn't have the electronic processes like they do now. So I had to go do a paper return, send it off. And I didn't get my money until like almost the next year, like October, November or something like that. I mean, it came on time, but the thing is, I took that. I said, I'll never give my kids information to anybody else because I don't want to have to go through the stuff that I had to go through with that. So that next year, I was going to Mountain View College. They had income tax course there, and I said, I'm gonna learn how to do it myself. Yeah, I'm gonna learn how to do it myself. But back then, they didn't have too many people telling you how to start your own tax business or what to do, this, that, and the other. So I had to get out there and find the information, right, and get the things that I needed to do to start it as a legitimate business. I didn't take it serious at first, because like the first year I started doing it was just like a trial and error, like just friends, hey, let me do your tax. Let me do this. I'm trying to learn. Let me do the. Yeah. But I got 24 people that let me do it. And then when they paid my money, I was like, okay, this is what that is. And then they be happy that you know what you're doing and everybody got their money. So they were like, oh, yeah, well, I'm going to turn my kinfolk, my sister, everybody. And before you know it, I was the hood tax lady. Straight up, I was the hood tax lady. Everybody in the apartments would come and come get their taxes done. Yeah, exactly. So, fast forward, life was happening. In the meantime, I was still driving school buses, so I had a crazy schedule, but I was just determined to make a way for myself. So, but it all started with a bad experience. With a bad experience, and I'm sure it's a lot of people out there that has gone through that, and that's why I build my business on integrity. That way, you don't have to worry about pretty quick taking your kids' social or doing anything like that. We don't move that way because I know how I feel, and sometimes this stuff is detrimental to people. This is the most money they'll get throughout the whole year. So I don't want nobody to feel how I felt at that time.
Did you ever start any other businesses before you tried taxes? Or?
Yeah, I did. I was a hairstylist, so I ended up opening up my store as Pretty Hair Inc. So everybody knew me for selling hair.
Is that where the pretty hair come from?
Yes.
The pretty quick tax.
Yeah, pretty. Everything is pretty. Everything is pretty.
So see?
Yeah.
So it was pretty hair. And
it was pretty hair. It was pretty hair. It was actually my first actual business. It was called what was it? Dang, I still got that paper too. But it was pretty quick transport. Something like that, because I was going to buy a van and do like disabled.
Like box house?
Disabled people, pick them up.
Meals on Wheels and stuff?
Like that. And then it was pretty hair because, of course, I had a bad experience with that. I always ended up I flip a situation.
Make it positive.
And make positive. Yeah. So I had a bad situation getting into the hair. Then I did my research, got my vendors and contacts, and started that business. It did really well. I was selling other products and stuff. All while taxes is still right there in the mix. This is what's funding all this other stuff.
Before the taxes kick
before it even got really big like it is, and social media wasn't around then. So
this is like 06, 07?
Yeah. This is 2000. So I started Pretty Hair Inc. back in 2011. But, I had already been doing taxes in 2007. So by 2010, I probably had about 200 clients by then. So I had money to invest into Pretty Hair Inc.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't the money I'm making now, but it was you felt like you were hood rich if you came up on an extra 30 to 50,000. I'm balling back in them days.
Right.
Yeah, we were balling. I was making anywhere from 30 to 50,000. Just off of word of mouth, So I just would invest into other things, and it just became a snowball effect. I also had went trained to do the body contouring. That did really well. But what I learned in business, if you truly want to be successful in something, you cannot be distracted. And me doing this. I got a job. I got the hair business. I got the body contouring. I got the body shapers and all that stuff. But it was taken away from this thing that started it all. It's the taxes started it all. So once I was like, why am I not getting to where I want to get to? Like, why am I? Because I'm getting pulled every which way but right. So once I let all that go, I prayed about it. I said, okay, I ain't going back to this job no more, because the job, I would have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I was driving school buses.
So you driving school buses.
Driving school buses.
Running pretty quick tax.
Running pretty hair in. Yeah. The body contouring stuff hadn't came in yet. So by 2015, that's when I decided that I had so many tax clients that I was getting frustrated at work. Because with tax people, they want to get it done now.
Right.
That hey, I don't want to wait until it's time for you to take a break to come out here. So it became an interference. So I said, you know what? I gotta go ahead.
And did you shut them all down at one time, or did you?
No, I didn't. I stopped. I quit working at a job first. I still had Pretty Hair Inc. And I had my tax business. So then I converted my tax business into Pretty Hair Inc. Where I put it in my store where people can come in, get their taxes done in person. So you had a store? Yeah.
So you had an actual walk-in store?
Yeah, my location I have now was originally Pretty Hair Inc.
And that's off Lake June, right?
Lake June in Ball Springs,
So originally the Lake June location of Pretty Quick Taxes was Pretty Quick.
It was Pretty Hair Inc.
People
would come there for my hair events. That store done been so much different stuff, bro. I done really utilized that location, okay? And it was really transferring clients, because my hair clients, they need to do their taxes too. They already know they coming here, so it was easy to transition from those clients to these clients, and adding in my already usual clients as well. But now it's 100% Pretty Quick Tax Service. I have multiple locations, not just that one now. And it's just crazy to see the journey of where I came from. Like the people that know me, and I got some tax clients that has been with me since 2007. One of them is on my team now. She does taxes, and she does really good.
That's amazing.
But she seen the beginning grind of everything before everybody knew me, to now. How many
clients you started out with when you first like your first year,
24. I never forget, because I thought I was doing bad.
Yeah. Oh wow.
I was like, dang, I had higher expectations of myself. But 24 is amazing when you first start now, because it's hard to get 24 people to trust you these days.
Everybody do taxes.
Every year you start off at zero. So you got to make sure you on point at all times to make those same people decide to come back to you. But now I got thousands of clients, literally. It's crazy now.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's a blessing, though.
That's cool. That just shows you that you can start from anywhere.
Man.
Starting from zero, starting from driving buses, starting from hair business, and transferring into something completely different.
Completely different. The thing is, you got to trust in God that He is and listen and do what needs to be done. Because when I tell you I was so scared to let go of that little $786 every 2 weeks driving a bus, because that was stability to me, to making $7,000 in 1 week. You know what I'm saying?
How many times did you second guess before you actually did it?
Man, it probably took me years, like a couple years, because I was thinking about doing it before I really did it.
Before you really did.
But I just felt like I was too scared. Like, you know, we got bills that come on a monthly basis like clockwork. So
it's that thought process probably of
man, you bite yourself. You beat yourself up about having the norm, the regular income coming in, when really they paying you for you switching time for money. So once I let go of all that time that they were holding me back from, and I could put that into my clients, my money double, tripled, like quadruple, you know. So
and that's
I ain't
a big
looking back.
thing. When you go to a job, they are paying you to really give up on your own.
Exactly.
And there's nothing wrong with a job, but that's really what it is. You exchanging time for money, and that's the worst way to make money.
But the way somebody else rich.
No, that's what actually happens. But you gotta be smart with it too. You gotta, you can. It ain't nothing wrong with having a job, but don't sleep on yourself. So I've always had something else going on, and I would just use the money from that job to invest in whatever I needed for my business. To the point to where the roles reversed. And I knew today that I had to quit that job, y'all.
What's that?
So bam, let me give y'all a rundown. So I'm on the bus. I'm tired, sleep. I'm on the bus, right? I get a call over the intercom. Miss Smith, we need you to come into the office before you leave the yard. So I'm like, man, what the hell they want, man? Because when I tell y'all I'll be ready to park that bus, do my pre-trip and go, like, pew, I'm out of there. So she was like, man, I need you to come to the office. She was like, when I went into the office, I'm like, yes, ma'am. You know, she was like, ma'am, what are you doing? You got 2 whole paychecks here. I need you to sign these. I need you to sign for these checks.
Oh, you hadn't even got your checks in cash.
I wasn't even worried about them, bro, because I already had money coming in from my tax business. You know, so she was like, "Oh, so you really got to tell?" I said, "Yes, I really do this." And so when I seen the look on her face, it was the look on her face that made me be like, "Oh, you think this shit is the game?" You know what I'm saying? So I got them 2 checks. I took them 2 checks home. I told my husband, I said, "Babe, I got to let this job go." That was like the confirmation for me, because I see that what I do is making more money than these 2 checks that equal $1,400, $1,500. You know what I'm saying? I had to let it go. I'll never forget that day.
She thought you was just talking.
Man, she thought, and matter of fact, she followed me on social media. I mean, we're real cool now. But she was like, man, I'm so proud of you, because I really didn't think that you were going to be as big as you are, starting from where I started at. So it's just like, you never know where God going to put you at. Don't ever talk down on nobody. Utilize what you have to get where you need to get to. You know. So
if you could go back, would you have did it earlier?
Yeah, if I knew what I know now.
You would have quit earlier.
But yes, I definitely would have. I probably would have been. Oh Lord, ain't no telling where I would have been.
If you had to go back and talk to yourself.
I'm giving her all the game. Hey, let me talk to you. So this is what you need to do, baby girl. You need to go ahead and don't even think about it. You gonna be straight. I mean, you gonna be straight. You know. So I would definitely go back.
Our fears keep us from getting over that hump.
That's what it is.
So scared until you actually get them in. You're like, okay, this is not that bad.
Yeah. Fear causes so many talented people to sleep on their dreams. And then if you don't act on that dream, God will give it to somebody else that is. You know, don't let that fear, because that fear was something for me. But see, you know, we soldiers. We like, you know what? Talk yourself into it. I can do this. I'm gonna go and do that shit. You know, my bad. I'm gonna go and do that.
Raw and uncut.
Nah, for real, because I'm just keeping it real now.